Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for a very special 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we are going to be taking a look at Rambo from First Blood by the Sly Stallone shop. Now, it's not very often that you get the actor that the figure's likeness is based off involved in production of said figure. But that's exactly what we have right here. Now, I do have to say a massive thank you to the team for sending me this sample so that I could make this review. Apparently, Sylvester Stallone himself handpicked Dean Knight and my channel to be the first on YouTube to review this release. More info on the figure's production is coming up a little bit later in the video. Now, if you are looking to grab him, I have popped the link to Sly Stallone shop in the description down below. What we are going to do now, though, is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here, of course, we have the box art, and it's suitably classy. An artistic style image of Rambo up front, Rambo First Blood up top, same thing on the side of the box, an image of the figure and everything he comes with, the Sly Stallone shop and Sylvester Stallone's signature. If you do slide off the top cover though, you do have another silhouetted image of Rambo, and as you can see, it says supervised and directed by Sylvester Stallone. On the side, once again Rambo First Blood, then a sneak preview of the figure inside. But we're not here for sneak previews, we're more here to check out the figure himself. Like I said in the intro, yeah, I've been pretty darn excited to get this guy in. This is going to be my first Rambo figure, and it kind of makes sense that this is Rambo from the start of the first movie. And first in-hand impressions are really positive. What we are going to do now though is get all of the accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Here we have all the parts and pieces. Now, starting off with the diorama style display base first. You all know I'm a huge fan of diorama bases, and this one is no exception. It's a rather interesting shape. It's a cracked piece of tarmac. You do have a bunch of cracks and texture on the surface. It's very nicely painted with some grey dry brushing. You also have a portion of a manhole cover that actually looks like rusted metal, plus a regular crotch grabber, but it is off to one side. That means when you have him positioned in the display towards the back half, if he is in a walking pose, you do have a ton of real estate to work with to get that pose dialed in. He also, of course, comes with his sleeping bag, and this is filthy. There's dirt and grime, there are various stains, plus it does appear to be a proper 1/6 scale rolled up and padded sleeping bag. You do have a real working zip, and the straps are Velcro, so if you wanted to, you could technically undo this and make use of it in the display. For me, I'm simply going to have him holding it, which we will do a little bit later in the video. You do also get some smaller accessories, starting off with the knife first. It does look as though it's made of metal, but it isn't. It's all plastic. It's just the paint applications that are doing the heavy lifting. It's a little bit shiny, it does have some pitting on the surface, you do have a rather sharp tip, so do be careful not to spike yourself. You also have a removable compass, which is absolutely tiny, but a very nice touch. You even have some pitting and dirt and grime on the compass itself. I didn't expect such a small piece to be integrated into the knife, but somehow they managed to get that done. As for the dog tags, the chain is a proper metal chain, and the little dog tags themselves are fully sculpted. It does say his name and all of his relevant details. Once again, this piece is absolutely tiny. I am so surprised that they managed to sculpt that in, with this piece being as small as it is. Lastly, you do get a full array of really nicely painted hands. The skin texture is there. There's some subtle rosiness to various sections. You even have some vein work. Plus the nails are fully painted. That's something that you don't usually see from 1/6 scale figures, but clearly, Sly Stallone Shop is all about those smaller details. What we are going to do now, though, is get Rambo himself out here and take a closer look. Here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Even though this guy was made by Sly Stallone Shop, a couple of the people involved have been around the 1/6 scale world for a while, starting off with the production manager Fabio Varese. I'm pretty sure y'all would have heard his name. The head sculpt was done by Inigo Gil, who does amazing work. Nick Cadasco was the manager at Sly Stallone Shop in charge of this figure. And then, of course, Sylvester Stallone, who was on hand in person supervising this whole project. The entire team did amazing work. This figure looks incredible. The body, the proportions, it's not overdone. I've seen Rambo customs, they use bodies that are far too big. This might just be using a custom body specific to this figure because it looks so darn good. What we are going to do now, though, is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. Here we have him up close and personal. Now, when this guy was first announced for pre-order, number one, I was really excited because I don't have any Sylvester Stallone figures and I'm a huge fan. But number two, I was a little bit nervous about the final product. This is an unproven company because this is their first 1/6 scale figure. But if I've learned one thing, it's never doubt Sly. This figure is awesome. The head sculpt is absolutely a young Sylvester Stallone. The likeness is on point from pretty much every angle. The skin texture, the paint applications, and the expression. Even though it's not a crazy over-the-top one, it still tells a story. You can tell this man is deeply troubled by the events of his past. The hair is also very nicely sculpted, and it's just that, fully sculpted rather than rooted. Now, as for the outfit, it is relatively straightforward. But don't let that fool you, there is still a lot to look at here. The green jacket does have a US Army tag up top, US flag on the other side, and it's absolutely filthy. There is dirt and grime on the surface, the seams are soiled, and around the back, they even have a proper tag on his jacket. That's not something I think I've ever seen before, but it's a very nice touch. Now, there were certain scenes where Rambo did pop his collar, and you can absolutely do that, exposing a proper zip around the back. This jacket, as I said, looks simple, but there is a lot more than meets the eye. Underneath, he is wearing a red long-sleeve shirt, and it is also suitably weathered. Coming down to his jeans, they are also absolutely disheveled. There's dirt and grime here. Once again, he does have dirt in all of the seams, and he does have a proper belt with a metal belt buckle. I do have his combat knife installed in the holster, which is made of pleather. Fingers crossed that doesn't degrade over time. Then coming down to his boots, they are proper pleather boots with real laces. Now, at the start of the video, you may have noticed the laces looked very long. Dean Knight gave me a very handy tip. Drop a little drop of super glue on the knot, then you can trim back these, knowing this is never going to come undone, which is exactly what I did. There is also some weathering around the front, and the tread down below is fully sculpted. As I said, I had questions going in, but now that I have this guy in hand, yeah, I'm very happy. Now, for a quick side-by-side comparison, I didn't really know who to go with, so I grabbed the DX10. As you can see, Arnie and Rambo are pretty much the exact same height. That absolutely works for me. Whatever body they've gone with for Rambo is big, it's beefy, and it is very tall. Plus, if you do have a Terminator figure, this should give you a rough idea as to how Rambo is going to scale in your collection. Just going over articulation. Now, bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I am willing to go. Now, starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a double ball peg at the base of the head. Looking forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up more than the full way, they will go forward and back. Butterfly joint at the shoulder that also hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow that gets you just past 90, and then of course a regular 1/6 scale wrist peg. The torso will crunch forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs go forward to there, they will go out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee that does get you almost the full way, and then of course a double ball peg down here for the ankle. Just wrapping up on John J. Rambo from First Blood. This is technically the first official 1/6 scale Sly Stallone shop release, and in my opinion, they knocked it out of the park. They started off relatively simple, but in saying that, this release screams quality and it also screams class. Starting off with the head sculpt, the likeness is impeccable. Seeing as though it was overseen by the man himself, it kind of makes sense. The paint applications, the way they've done the hair, and the way it sits on the body, yeah, a bunch of ticks from me. The body, the proportions, and the articulation are both great. Then we get to the outfit. It's very nicely tailored, it's also all fabric, and it's suitably well weathered. You can tell this isn't a brand new outfit off the rack, he has been through some stuff. He also comes with the sleeping bag and his knife, with that really tiny little compass. At the end of the day, it is a relatively straightforward release, but in my mind, it's executed to perfection. Now, in saying that, even though they did send me this production sample, all of my opinions are my own. So if I really didn't like this figure, I absolutely would have told you. In all honesty, I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to see what they're working on next. Cobra is on the way, apparently they're working on Rocky, and even another version of Rambo. So definitely stay tuned, because I'll be more than likely picking up those figures as well. Now, if you do want to grab this guy, he is available from SlyStalloneShop.com. Link for that is in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe and bell notification icon so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. Also, check out the join button for Justin's Collection Plus if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.